Hi everyone. So I'm sure you know that vampires thrive on blood and elephants on bananas and Popeye on spinach. Similarly, actors like me thrive on reactions and opportunities to talk to audiences like you. It's an exhilarating feeling that can rev up your adrenaline faster than a Bugatti can go from 0 to 100. I know I'm behind a screen and I know that this is the perfect opportunity for many of you to start checking Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram, but I'm going to accept this challenge and try to keep you as interested as possible in what I have to say. I'm perfectly fine being on the screen. That's what I'll be doing for the rest of my life as an actor anyway. And alas, our generation is so addicted to anything but books that screens might probably be the only form of communication we have in the future. The amount of access you have to information, the privileges you enjoy in education, and the passion that resides inside you has endless capabilities. I was able to tap into all these factors inside me to a little extent, and voila, here I am today, talking to you. I don't have the assistance of a sick background score, nor do I have any elaborate and exotic sets to keep your interest alive, but I do have stories and some advice. Hopefully, you won't catch a quick nap in the next few minutes I have with you, but if you do, it's totally cool. TED Talks are designed to be only as long as the human brain can efficiently concentrate, 15 minutes tops. But after TED came BuzzFeed, videos that barely last 5 minutes, the ones you watch excessively on Facebook. Many of you are more likely to have the BuzzFeed attention span. 5 minutes and then whoosh, it's gone, like a goldfish's memory. In me, you have the opportunity of hearing from someone who is barely older than you. Many of you probably have siblings who are my age or maybe even older. Many of them have lived through the same experiences as I have in India and America as a student trying to figure out what to do with his or her life. What I will share with you is very likely to be what you will live through in the very near future. So try to listen to me, because I've made some good moves but kind of dropped the ball sometimes too. Think of me as your Google Maps. I will show you one possible route of getting to the future. There are many others and you may choose to completely ignore mine, but learn the road so that you can then be prepared to travel it. Remember, I am still 20 years old. I have a lot left to explore in terms of everything. My word is not gospel. If I was 40 years old though, I would have had double the experience. But even then, my word would not be gospel. However, if I was 60, I would have seen the world, become an old, wise man with thicker glasses than what I'm wearing, a bigger belly, and 50 shades of grey in my hair. Then my word would still not be gospel. That is because no one ever knows anything. We are all Jon Snows. I hope you get this Game of Thrones reference, because if you don't watch the show, start ASAP. But only after asking your parents, because it's R-rated. In my philosophy class in the 12th grade, I learned that our minds are a tabula rasa when we are born, which means that it is a blank slate that we can then fill up however we like. But in psychology, I learned that we are a product of nature and nurture, while part of us will always have the traits of our relatives and ancestors, our genes. The other part of us will be an amalgamation of the things that surround us, in school, on the streets, in movies, everywhere. Now, this is confusing because it begs the question, do we really control who we are? Do we really control who we will be? Do we really control our fate, our destiny? The answer is yes. And sometimes no, but yes, eventually. The first time I very seriously asked myself what I wanted to do in life was in the 7th grade. I was transitioning schools from Campion to Ambani at that time. I got no answer to myself. I asked the same question again last night, and the answer still evaded me. But I will never, and you should never, stop asking yourself that question. Even if you know you want to do something today, that might very well change tomorrow. I was 4 years old when I started acting. Like all of us, I was a very bored 4-year-old. and my parents decided to put me in these acting classes to keep me occupied during the Diwali holidays. It was a 10-day workshop, but enough to ignite my interest in this medium of artistic expression. I never looked back since then. Till I was about 17, acting, writing, filmmaking were all my hobbies. Yes, hobbies, because I had no intention of turning them into a full-time profession. Forget majoring in them at college. The only film school I applied to was USC in LA. Everywhere else I applied to study something else, something safer. Like business or physics. In the end, USC was the only college that accepted me. My program had a much lesser acceptance rate than a lot of the others that I applied to, but I still got in. I didn't control where I was going to get in. It was some kind of sign from the universe. I wasn't being compelled to take the sign, it was merely a pathway that was laid out for me to follow, should I choose to. I thought about it immensely, intensely, and insanely. Going to USC would have been the biggest gamble of my life. After studying acting and film, the degree I will be getting can only guarantee me a job as a waiter. Clearly, I took the gamble, and only time will tell if it paid off or not. I don't have any regrets though. You might not have the chance to take all these huge chances or make life-changing choices right now. Yet every day, your every action is going to change your life and shift your stars. Whether or not you skip breakfast, or leave finishing your homework till the last minute, or lie, or cheat in a test, or litter on the streets, or say hurtful things to a person, or think hurtful thoughts, all the actions are going to become your behavior, and your behavior will be your character. Trust me, building character starts from the moment we have a conscious memory, and the process lasts a lifetime. Nobody will ever remember what you get in your 7th grade math quiz, but the hard work you put into studying for that will still have visible influences in your everything else that you do till you die. When I was 16 years old, I went to boarding school instead of doing the IB. I did so because I wanted to learn everything, from astronomy to gastronomy. I studied international relations, physics, medical microbiology, macroeconomics, calculus, 20th century American literature, screenwriting, playwriting, philosophy, psychology, oceanography, East Asian business studies. The list goes on and on and on and on. I wanted to do everything, which is also why I love acting. On stage or on screen, I can be whoever I want, from a firefighter to a president, from MK Gandhi to MS Dhoni. Actors can literally live their every dream. Anyway, while I was studying all these different things, I realized that I can never know everything. But I want to spend the rest of my life trying to. I want to understand all that I can about this world because it is so beautiful. I want to be an artist because art arouses empathy, and empathy ignites action, and action creates change. Change that I want to see, change that we all want to see. At many points in your school lives, you will question why you need to know something. How on earth will it help you in the future? What exactly is the point of all this? And there is no right answer to that. What you must know though is that being smart is fun. The more you know, the more people you can talk to, the more friends you can make. Grades, report cards, college acceptances, job placements, these are not reasons to want to study. They might be why you need to study, but wants come from within. Learn only because it is interesting, and if it doesn't seem fun at first, give it a chance to impress you. I gave chemistry 4 years, from 6th to 10th grade, before I decided that our relationship just wasn't working out. 4 years is barely anything. It might seem a lot now, but when you are your parents' or grandparents' age, it'll barely be a speck in the ocean of time. I'm about to graduate college. I'll be done with all my classes by the time you have finished hearing my speech. I'm finishing a 4-year course in 2.5. Why, you ask? It is because I'm too eager to erupt. By no means am I suggesting that everyone do what I did, rush through college and get out into the real world. I just wish I can go back to 5th grade again. Being an adult and growing up is so scary. If you are nervous about becoming a senior, doing the IB, or even going to college, Wait till you get done with it. It's horrifying, but in a good Harry Potter-like adventurous way. I hope I can speak for many, if not all of us, but our generations are dormant volcanoes. Not even dormant actually. We are a volcano aching to erupt, but unfortunately prohibited by a huge lid of our own making. The lid of escapism, procrastination, distraction, temptation, commitment phobia, indiscipline, and the list can go on and on. I am guilty of having these lists too. I've spent hours idling my time away before realizing it's 1 a.m. and my paper or homework is due in my first class the next morning. I'm guilty of playing on the PlayStation for more hours than I honestly should have, or binge watching Netflix when I should have been binge reading newspapers. Life always comes down to choices. I've made some good ones, and I've always worked hard when I had to. A life in the arts is extremely hard. It isn't math. No offense to all you math nerds, you guys are cool in your own unique way and much smarter than I can ever be. But it's hard to know what you want to write creatively or really get into the skin of the character I'm supposed to be playing. When I went to the Oscars, I lived a fairy tale. Stretch limousines, 5-star hotels, chilling with Brad Pitt and Daniel Craig, eating dinner next to Zac Efron and Angelina Jolie, not having to stand in lines at Disneyland. It was all surreal. But before I got there, I spent 14 hours on set in the blistering heat of Dharavi, Mumbai, before sleeping for 3 hours and then going to school as an ordinary 7th grader. I'm sure all of you lucky ones who got to see Coldplay perform a few weeks ago have heard Chris Martin, talk about this in his song Yellow. Nobody said it will be easy. It won't. But it doesn't have to be hard either. Every day seems difficult now, and that won't stop ever unless you start perceiving that difficulty to be a stimulating challenge. It's like life telling you, ha ha ha, I bet you can't do this. And you replying, game on, I bet I can. It is cliched. Still, every challenge, every adversity is an opportunity. When you grow up, party, but network. Watch movies, but do the required readings. Sleep, but not through or in your classes. Spend, but earn as well. Fall in love, but never break a heart. Talk a lot, but be sure to say something. Be soft, but don't let anyone run over you. Be hard, but don't block anyone from you. Fight, but forgive easily. Complain, but then do something to change it. The fact that you go to BD Somani already puts you light years ahead from most of the kids your age. You have resources. Be frugal and fragile with them. In the entertainment industry and even in life, it's not about what you know, but whom you know. I have been fortunate to have an unreal amount of people who I can turn to for anything. Through the years, I've had friends who took notes from me when I was absent or came to watch my every single performance. I've had professors who took me to lunch and dispensed invaluable advice to me. I've had parents who let me run wild but ran right behind me in case I ever fell. I am grateful for these people every single second of my life. You are nothing but your relationships. Every audition, every play, every film I've ever landed has been partly because of my passion for the acting and telling stories, but more because of my compassion to the people who value that. What you will do with what you are given is more important than what you are given in the first place. I've seen brilliant films made on iPhones. Not having a fancy camera didn't prevent those filmmakers from telling their stories. I've heard amazing songs in a New York train station. Not having a studio or a stage didn't stop these singers from singing. You don't need anything. Not college, not a degree, nothing at all. Although college is important, if for no other reason than for the amount of fun you will have there. You just need the will to begin. There will be many lids, many excuses that you will create for yourself to hold you back, but don't let them. I don't want to sound too preachy, but I want to leave you guys with something that has motivated me and driven me on my journey thus far. The first step is very easy. Learn to be angry at things happening around you. Be angry because kids younger than yourself will sleep hungry tonight. Be angry because thousands will die of bullets. Be angry that houses will be burned down. Be angry that discrimination still occurs across the globe. Be angry even if you are happy, because that anger can channel into passion. Never let it become aggression. That passion will empower you to get up and do something. I saw the movie Rang De Basanti when I was in the 6th grade, and I desperately wanted to do something after seeing it, change the world and all. I kept wanting to but never did anything about it until I realized that the answer was simple. I need to make more movies like that, more art that influences a similar desire to create change in the people as I felt in myself. So I decided to be an artist, to let my art speak my grievances and let my audience ameliorate them. The baton is in your hands now. Make smart choices. For yourself, of course, but not at the cost of others. Empathize, and all your answers to all your confusions will fall swiftly straight into your lap. Look around you. Speak to all the faces you haven't before. An actor's job is to empathize and walk in the shoes of another character, but that is also every single human's job. Don't worry if the shoes are too big, and don't care if they aren't fancy Jimmy Choos. Just wear them and start running. I hope my GPS assists you and that my words ignite you. Don't be afraid. Don't be hesitant. The worst that can happen is that you will fail, but honestly, nobody except for you will care about that. And the best, that you'll have the privilege of giving a TED talk to amazingly impatient yet talented middle and high schoolers. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak and hearing all that I have to say. God bless you. And best of luck.